Hi guys and welcome to MotorBeam. There are very few vehicles which drop my height and this Force Gurkha is one of them. Now I actually struggled to reach here, but this car did not. It is extremely capable and last time we reviewed it, we told you everything you needed to know and some more. But Force Motors has made some changes to this vehicle to make it even better than before. What's new? Well, I have a lot to say about the new Gurkha. Imagine if I put a picture like this on Instagram, I would get thousands of likes because most people might mistake this for the G-Wagon. And indeed, it is inspired from the G-Wagon. It also gets the LED indicator here on the hood. Of course, it gets the traditional one here as well. But this is so G-Wagon. In fact, even the placement of the exhaust on the side will remind you of the G-Wagon on which this vehicle is based on. But the new model looks a bit subtle because Force Motors has done away with those stickers which were kind of cheesy, like 4x4x4 and of course EOV. This one just gets the Gurkha badging on both the sides. It also gets a new metal bumper along with fog lights placed there. Now before you get all excited, let me tell you a lot of these accessories on this vehicle are not part of standard equipment, like of course the windscreen guard as well as the jerry can holder at the rear. In fact, even the alloy wheels are not part of standard equipment, neither are these tires. So what exactly are you going to get for the money you pay for? G-Wagon. And I kid you not, editor, please put a montage of G-Wagon here and the Gurkha here to show people how similar both these vehicles are. Of course, the G63 happens to be a 5-door. This one is a 3-door. It's a short wheelbase. It's not that big in length, but it still has the essence of the legendary G-Wagon. While you don't get the carrier as part of standard equipment, what you do get is this Snorkel. Yes, this is one of the few vehicles to come with a Snorkel as standard. This is a functional one, giving this car a water weighting capacity of 550 mm. And while I'm enjoying standing and posing here, the sturdiness of this vehicle has certainly impressed me. In fact, this car feels like a tank. It's built to last, and trust me, when you're inside, you actually think you're driving a tank. So let me quickly get inside. The interior is very basic indeed. In fact, there's nothing much to talk about on the inside because there's no feature on offer other than the fact that it gets an air conditioning which kind of works well on this vehicle, and the instrument cluster is very basic. It gets a speedometer, it gets a fuel meter, it gets an odometer as well as a trip meter. It doesn't get a tachometer in the line of sight because the tachometer is placed in the center here. It also gets a hazard light switch and a fog light switch, and the regular switches, which is for the wipers as well as the headlight. That's about it. Other than the fact that it gets an air conditioning, there are 3 other luxuries on offer. The first is of course this handle which you really need if you want to climb inside the vehicle, and of course the side footstep without which you really have to jump like a monkey to get inside. The other luxury happens to be the dead pedal, so you can comfortably rest your left foot when driving, especially off-road, because when you're in 4-low you don't have to touch any of the pedals. And the third luxury for people like us, the millennials, happens to be a 12-volt charging socket. Yes, I need to juice up my smartphone, otherwise how will I let people know that I'm driving this with an Instagram story? The door pockets are really small, so you really can't keep much there. The glove box too is small, but it is lockable over here. And most importantly, in the center console, there's plenty of storage. You can keep a mobile phone there, you can keep knickknacks as well. So plenty of cubby holes right there in the center, but it doesn't get power windows. It really doesn't need it because only the front windows open properly. The rear ones, well, they slide. Now there's no audio system on offer, but there are 4 levers which are extremely important. One is to lock the front differential, one is to lock the rear differential, one is of course the gear lever, and one is the selector for the 4-wheel drive system. And next to that is the handbrake, which kind of feels flimsy. I kid you not, even without pressing the button, I can put the handbrake down. The center gets 4 AC vents, meanwhile there are AC vents on either side as well. The ones there are actually kind of flimsy. The other issue is that the outside rear view mirrors are not internally adjustable, which means that for me to adjust the left mirror, I have to take a lot of effort because this is a wide car and I have to scramble to the left side in order to adjust it. It really doesn't work well. Anyways, opening the rear door, and let me tell you, 6 people can sit here. They have to be your enemy because there's no seatbelt on offer. They are side-facing seats, which means there's not much space as such, and for a person of my height, headroom can be an issue. These handles are so useful, but honestly, it should have been offered in a 5-door variant with front-facing seats. The Force Gurkha Xtreme gets a new engine. It's a 2.2 liter unit, which is a Mercedes unit. It happens to be called as the OM611, replacing the OM616. Actually, it doesn't really replace it because still the Explorer version of the Gurkha is available with the lower tune of the engine, rather the older engine. Now this one packs in a lot of power because power has increased by almost 55 horsepower, 140 horsepower in this car with a torque output of 320 Newton meters, which gives it absolutely great performance. In fact, the performance is so good, you never ever feel the lack of it. Turbo lag is very well contained. There's good amount of punch lower down. Mid-range is also very strong. Top end isn't great, but this motor really revs very fast to its red line of 4000 RPM. Get hard onto the throttle and it absolutely picks up pace. It's very impressive an engine, very impressive performance from this Gurkha. And of course, out on the highway, you will never ever feel the lack of power because there's just so much punch on offer. Yes, NVH could have been better, a lot better I would say, because you can hear a lot of the motor inside the cabin. There's just so much grunt on offer from this engine. The only gripe I have is the gearbox isn't the smoothest shifting. It's a 5-speed unit, again a Mercedes sourced one, but it doesn't offer the slickest of shifts, and there is this rubbery feel every time you want to go through the gears. Now the top speed of this vehicle has also increased. It does 100 km per hour quite comfortably. We estimate it should reach the ton in around 15 to 16 seconds, which is pretty quick, honestly. In terms of dynamics, everything remains more or less the same. It is a very good car in terms of ride quality. In fact, it decimates everything in its stride. Obviously, Force Motors has improved the hardware on this vehicle further. It gets coil springs both at the front as well as the rear, and a rigid axle at the front, and the ride quality is just phenomenal. It glides through the worst of road. Now obviously this is a body on frame platform vehicle, which means that there's some lumpiness. The steering is on the heavier side and the handling isn't great. There's a lot of body roll on offer, but still I would say the handling is neutral considering this isn't a vehicle for sharp cornering, and considering the weight on offer, considering the fact this is a body on frame vehicle, there's actually a good amount of grip on offer through the corners. You sit very high up, you get a good view of what's around. But this is not a vehicle to push around, although this is a car which will actually make you bully other people on the road because the road presence, the commanding driving position and everything else feels so freaking perfect in the Gurkha. Now Force isn't offering ABS yet, but ABS will come soon on the Gurkha. Braking performance is good. Heavy braking means that there is some amount of nosedive, obviously, along with screeching of the tires as well. So we are going off-road. Now the good thing is the vehicle is right now in 4 low and I'm in first gear. All I have to do is steer because the low range will take care of the rest. And here we are, off all the pedals and smoothly it comes down. This crawl mode is thanks to the fact that Force Motors has gone to Bosch, which has re-engineered the ECU, which enables to 93 Newton meters of torque at as low as 800 RPM. Now you can see the gradient I'm climbing. It makes it so easy to do all this and more because of the crawling mode, and of course the ground clearance has been increased. This gets a 3-inch lift kit as well. Force Motors has also given this car a new transfer case and obviously it gets front and rear locking differentials. So in terms of off-road performance, the Gurkha is unbeatable. And I don't think there's any vehicle at this price point which can do stuff which the Gurkha does. I know I've nitpicked a lot on the features on offer as well as the comfort and the ergonomics. However, this vehicle isn't about that. It's about off-road ability. And in that sense, it is just unbeatable. No car at this price range or even double the cost of this can match it off-road because this is just supremely capable off-road. It has got the hardware, it has got the legacy, and it is a vehicle which will put a smile on your face when you go off-road. But most importantly, if you go out on the highway as well, this car holds on to its own because the new engine offers terrific performance. It doesn't feel bogged down at all, and now the Gurkha finally has the engine it always deserved. At a price close to rupees 16 lakhs, it might come across as expensive, but hey, no vehicle at this price point can make you look as cool as the Gurkha does. If you like this vehicle and want us to take more vehicles off-road, make sure to give this video a like, which is a thumbs up, and also subscribe to the MotorBeam channel. I will see you guys in the comment section of this video right now.